Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it's still early damage, and typically, I mean, if someone blows an inner conflict on that guy, that means they're not gonna typically have that inner conflict for your late game Vampire King. So, although this will hurt and it'll put you on a clock, it's probably not going to be that bad, especially because you're trying to win quickly anyway. So that's actually really a bad play. The Fang, not the Claw. Either one. Either one of these guys. I mean, the Fang, the Claw is a better inner conflict because he's a much more potent threat. Although we probably could actually go down on him, I'm not sure. Right now we're at 66 cards, so we need to cut 6 cards. I'm really considering pulling Fang and going up on Banshee right now. I think that's where I want to go. Because I don't want to have too much damage coming in to my face just for playing my own cards. So I think I'm going to actually pull Fang and go up on Wailing Banshee. Now, if we were playing all aggro with Orcs, the Fang is definitely, like, we can go all Orcs, and that would definitely help. This also helps our curve out a lot more. If you noticed, we need to pull some of our 3-drops, so we'll go ahead and pull 1 Claw. So we're down in 61. We need to dump 1 more card. Actually, I want to buff up the Wailing Banshee probably up by 1. I need to get rid of another 3-drop is what needs to happen because I'm really heavy on 3-drops. Definitely not the Inquisitor. Brood Creeper, I need to have him. Huh. I might actually get rid of, like, Necessary Sacrifice. What do we got? I mean, that's our sweet spot. That 3-drop range is really the sweet spot where it is. We should cast most of the cards in the deck. I really kind of want to go up on the Wailing Banshee, though. I kind of want to have the nice early turn Wailing Banshee. I wouldn't suggest cutting mana unless we got rid of our 5-drop range. I mean, you could. I really wouldn't cut resources at this point, especially because we've talked about in Hex how it is that we've got these champions and they have charge powers, and so getting mana screwed shouldn't happen as often because you should be playing more resources, and if you end up getting flooded, it gets offset by your champion. But if you get screwed, it's really not offset. So I really don't want to go down, especially given the format of things with this deck. Although if you were playing Magic the Gathering and you have no champion, then you could easily do it. So I want to use that to the best. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go a 2nd Claw as a 3-drop, and that will help out our curve. I'd like to go up on Wailing Banshee, but... So I think this is the deck. This is the aggro deck you want to play with the sack effects. Given the cards we have available to us on TCG Browser and Deck Builder. Again, we got the spoiler today, and you know people will be pouring over this. Cards are bound to get balanced during alpha and change here and there. So don't get too annoyed if things change, or I mean, I guess you could say errata, but it's not really like there's any formal tournaments or anything right now. So yeah, so let's see what we ended up with. We ended up with 2 Wailing Banshee, this ridiculous Hop Hero Samurai, the Claw of the Mountain God, 2 of those, as a 5/4 that's going to deal damage to us, which hopefully we'll be able to sack away if he gets out of, if it becomes a bad situation. The Blood Cauldron Ritualist, which is a permanent board sack effect, which is has the combat trick of becoming a 4/4. Now remember that when we use this, you can only sack a guy once and have him become a 4/4. If you sack another guy, what happens is he turns into a 4/4 again. So that's really only good if you turn him into a 4/4, and your opponent debuffs him by giving him like -2/-2. You can turn him into a 4/4 again, I believe, if it works with the same mechanics as Magic. Let me think. I'm thinking about that right now. Actually, you know what? If that happened, yeah, it wouldn't work that way because he still has the -2/-2 effect on him, and it would actually. It depends on how the effect is applied. It really depends. So, but I mean, if anything happened to him where he like became a 1/1, then you could turn him into a 4/4 in response again by sacking something else. Typically, it's not going to happen very often. The Inquisitor, this guy is probably the meat of this deck. He's going to be ridiculous for you. You could, like we talked about, we could sock him in one of two ways. Vampire King is going to be decent, obviously, for you. Unfortunately, I'm being told that he's not currently available for me to play tonight. The Terrible Transfer is our game ender, and it also has that dual ability to remove cards, which is going to be good. I'm trying to remember the card. There used to be in Vampires, there was a card that you would play like this. Yeah. Yeah, you have nice enders at the top range here. We've got both Vampire King and Hop Hero. Those guys are going to be amazing for you. Necessary Sacrifice is another one that's, if someone kills your sack effect that's sitting on the table, you know, you have this, and it's going to draw you some cards. You've got the obligatory 4 Murder, which are never going to leave the deck, unless it is that for some reason someone's playing with no creatures or no troops. You've got Brood Creeper, which is going to give you more troops to sacrifice as it deals damage. Hopefully you'll be able to push through some damage, and eventually it just gets out of hand very easily. The Corrupt Harvester is going to hopefully keep you in the game. So if you have this Corrupt Harvester and you're attacking with him, and you have your Claw of the Mountain God at the same time, you should be good to go because you're coming out +1 life advantage. Hideous Conversion, I think I pulled that a long time ago. Let me see. Let me go look at the card. I need to go over to here. I'm pretty sure I pulled the card. Let's go with all types. And blood. Is it in nope, alphabetical order maybe? Maybe not. Maybe I'll just do a Control F. Yeah, we pulled Hideous Conversion because it's a buff, and it's not going to do a lot for you. I mean, it's a sack effect on the board, which is nice, but you're going to sack and you're going to get a temporary resource. Apparently this is, yeah, something else. Yeah, it's not going to do a lot for you. It's not a body. That's the biggest problem. It is not a troop. It's harder to remove. I mean, we could throw it on the sideboard, but it doesn't do a lot for you. It really needs to do more than just sit on the board and allow you to sacrifice things. Because it's, again, that's what would happen. Like, okay, so if you drew Hideous Conversion and your opponent has a board state with a creature on it, well, and you have no creatures, that's really a bad place to be in. Whereas you could have drawn a creature, and, you know, to respond to it. So it needs to be, the things that buff your board state need to be good enough that they are ridiculous, and that's not ridiculous for this specific deck. Especially because we reduced our curve, and we are not going to need to. We're not really that resource hungry. Okay, so Bone Warrior, obvious. We sacrifice him. He turns into a pile of bones. We can cast him again and sacrifice him again if we need to. And he also chump blocks pretty nicely for us, but we shouldn't be doing very much of that because we should be on the offensive. Blood Harbinger. Target opposing champion may pay 5 health if they don't search your deck. Yeah, and this guy's going to deck thin for us, which is nice. I mean, typically no one's going to pay 5 health. I mean, I probably wouldn't. I'll let him die. I'll let you pay 5 health and get another one. And I mean, hopefully I've got something that matches up well versus a 3/1. So let's see here, sideboard. I'm gonna turn my music down. It's not like the whole list is like balanced, you know. So like some songs are louder than others. Okay, so this guy, Reverting Troops, could be pretty good for us. Buries the top card of their deck. I mean, I guess that's pretty good. I mean, we'll just keep it at 2. Target troop gets... This is really not going to do a whole lot for us. Hold on. Yeah, baby. Crying. Oh, yeah, this is Zachary, guys, so just hanging out here. Just hanging out. Waiting for our client to load. Yep. Okay. Trying to remember where I was at. Probably the Blood Aura is not going to do a lot for us right now in the current game state. Yeah, you probably can't read yet. Hi, Zachary. Everyone says hi, Zachary. We just named him today, so he's not used to his name yet, so just give him a little while on that. He was born on the 6th. Yeah, but it's not really a sideboard card. See, the thing is, when you have a sideboard card, it needs to be able to deal with the metagame, basically. It needs to really be good versus specific decks, and because we don't have a metagame, all you can do is pick up more removal or things that you feel like your deck might be weak to in general, just generalizations. So, like, a deck like this is going to be weak to maybe, like, I don't know, life gain or some sort of sweep or something. So things that deal well with sweeps or that nerf life gain or do things like that, or like the obligatory one is Hex Key. That's, I mean, I would probably throw that in here. So let me go ahead and actually pick that up real quick. Try getting him to sleep again. You gotta keep rocking them back and forth, all you people that, all you guys that think you might be a father one day. That's like a big thing. I get to walk them around the bedroom for a little while, get them to sleep. Let's see, we are looking for